us? Just raise your hand so they can see you. Unmute your phone. Unmute your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. We can't hear you. Unmute your phone.
Okay.
Okay,
Good afternoon. Can you hear me now? Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all our people. I wish to first of all use the opportunity to congratulate Mr. Ikechi and his team for doing this wonderful job. We know that the COVID-19 has badly affected us, but we cannot sit down and be watching ourselves just, doing nothing. So what we are doing now, trying to domestic, because movement and see the just started. Go straight to some of the places I have identified today for our discussion. First of all, I started from the Federal Capital Territory and I took the Katampe Hill. The Katampe Hill is purported to be the geographical center of Nigeria, and it is located around Maitama. You have trying to do now, the Federal Ministry of Trade and Tourism are trying to build, to come up with a structure there that will depict like a sign, a statue of something that will depict Nigeria, so that visitors can go there and then snap photographs and do things that can portray our country as a great country. So because of the timing, I need to move according to the time. So the second place I took again is the Asop Falls, which is located in Jos Plateau State. Yeah, hello?
Now go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you.
I said the second one is there. Okay. Is the falls, which is located on the plateau in Jos, is along the Abuja Road if you are going to Jos. Though the Asop Falls is a very good location also. If you can remember this film, The Cockroach at Dawn, it was shot at that Asop Falls location. So it's a very beautiful place with wonderful waterfalls and then, very nice scenery. But the unfortunate thing is that there are no conveniences, no adequate conveniences built around there. So it is always good that when we have sites like this, we try to develop them to a certain, though the infrastructures are not well developed, we try to see how we can put those things in place so that when visitors are there, they can be able to use them. So it's good to have conveniences there, to have like a restaurant or a small place where you can buy water and drink. Because to walk down the steps there is something that when you do, you at the end of the day need something to refreshen yourself. So it would be good if you have, and the location is very good because it's just along the road. So it's safe to drive along there and stop over there. And it's also located along the Horn Kibo. It's why plateau is called plateau is because of it's on top of the mountain. So it's at the beginning of climbing the plateau, the hill, to go up to the plateau that you meet the Asop Falls. So it's just at the foot of the mountains there, the Horn Kibo Mountains. So after that, let me go to the third one. The third one, which is quite unique that I took today, is the Hubaren Shehu. The Hubaren Shehu is the tomb of the Usman Danfodio, which is located in Sokoto and in the Sokoto Caliphate. If you remember the history of the jihad of Usman Danfodio of 1804, would have did the jihad, is an Islamic jihad which captured almost the whole of northern Nigeria down to some parts of present-day Ilorin. That's why you have in Emirates there, because it's still part of where the jihad, took place. So the Hubaren Shehu is a tomb of the late Usman Dan Fodio. You have a lot of people going there today as tourists, especially the Fulanis. They go there to pay homage, to go and do like pledge at the tomb. So if you go there, you see people there every day coming in. So it's an area that can be organized. And also that place is used for the burial of the other sultans, present day sultans. If they die, you will see that their graves also are in the Hubare. So that place is one of the notable historic tourist sites that if we develop it, if the Sokoto state government and some of our tour operators can work together and see how we can get tourists to that site, because it's very historical, because it's all the Nigeria. Because where you have all the emirs were put during the jihad of Usman Dan Fodio. So from Kano to Sokoto to Zaria to even to some parts of the Middle Belt states too, they also have all emirs who are part of the formation of the jihad of Usman Dan Fodio. So it's a very good historic place that we need to develop. We need to try to encourage people to visit so that our history will not be forgotten. So the fourth place that I looked at is the ancient famous Kano walls. If you remember, Kano is also a historic town. It's a very famous town with one of the largest populations in Nigeria. The wall was built over 1,000 years ago, and it covers a radius of over 14 kilometers. And if you see the wall, as you are seeing on the screen now, it has about 13 gates around the whole ancient city wall, and it has been marked as one of the historic. I mean, there's a word for it. It's one of the 7 wonders that Mr. Ekechi has been promoting. It has been gazetted by the what do I call it?
Niger 7
United,
wonders.
the heritage. Yeah, it is one of the 7 wonders, and it's also listed as one of the 7 heritages of, it's gazetted as one of the 7 heritage. So if you see these walls, like this door you are seeing now, all these doors, you have Kofa Nasra, Kofa Na Isa, Kofa Mata, and at the Kofa Mata is where you have the Kano dying pits. The dying pits too, they are over 500 years there, and they are very, very important places that when you see tourists from all over, people coming there to look at those dying pits. And just by not very far away from the dying pits, you have, there's a museum also there. That museum also serves as a very, good historic site. So Kano itself, by the time you visit the city walls and visit the gates and the Kofa Mata Museum, you will have a complete guided tour, and you go to the MS Palace there in Kano, you have a complete guided tour of Kano. So lastly, again, I looked at again the Mambila Plateau in Taraba State. The Mambila Plateau is like the name Plateau is in a high mountain range between it's a continuation of the Bermuda highlands in the Cameroons. So it's on the border between Nigeria and the Cameroon, and it's very beautiful. You can access it, from if you go to Jalingo, which is the capital of the Mambila, capital of Taraba State, because it's located in Taraba State. From there, you can, go by road. There's a road, although the road is not too good, but going by road will enable you have a wonderful view of the scenery. From what you are seeing on the screen, you can see the wonderful, scenery is beautiful. It purported that there's even ice fall, snowfall on the Mambila Plateau. And it is there that you have a lot of tea plantations And it's even some of our presidents like Obasanjo, they have a farm, they have farms there. You can see it's a beautiful place that can go. I think, but what we need to develop there is to develop like accommodations and some other, do some investments there that can upgrade the standard of that place so that we can have, instead of going for holidays outside Nigeria, these are places we can go. This is just like the Obudu cattle ranch. If we can develop this Mambila Plateau, and with the Mambila, there's the waterfalls around there too, where they're trying to develop the Mambila electric power, this thing. When that thing is completed, I think it's going to serve as a link where people can go have a view of that, at that place, and also go to the top of the mountains and enjoy the wonderful scenery. So to summarize now, we can say that these places, they are good, they are places that can be visited, the securities there are guaranteed, accessibility is also guaranteed. So for us to be able to develop tourism, to be able to move tourism, we have airlines all over now that can be able. So what we need to do is to do some packages and put these things together so that we can be able to encourage people to visit Nigeria. We cannot travel outside Nigeria today because of the COVID-19. So what we need to do is to see how we can develop these sites that we're identifying, make them more accessible, make them more tourism friendly, create more accessibility, create more attractions to them, so that together we can build a robust tourism site. Thank you very much, and I wish beautiful discussions.
Thank you. I guess you have a timer because it's exactly 10 minutes. So you did brilliantly well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
For me, the Usman Danfodio thing, the Uberan Shehu thing is amazing. First time that somebody is pushing that particular location. Even when I've dealt with Sokoto state government people, nobody has actually pushed that location. But tombs are amazing places with cenotaphs and things like that that attract people. And Usman Danfodio is one of those that had created the vision of what we have today as Nigeria. And thank you for that revelation. I didn't know that. So you talked about Katankwe Hill. I'll be happy to have the federal government of Nigeria do something exceptional about Katankwe Hill. Abuja has no soul, and that might be one of those things that will bring it alive. And Asop Form, very popular, and the point you made about conveniences. State government, owners of resorts, please put in decent toilets, washrooms in any place you call a resort or an attraction. We bring visitors to those places. There is no place for them to go ease themselves. We can't just be marketing destinations when the basic things that are toilets are easy to make. If you can't make a decent, just create a pitfall. So we have other places that need that kind of attention. We need to get those places in place. You talked about Kano Walls, which is one of our original 7 wonders, Niger 7 wonders. Kano Walls is amazing, one of the biggest freestanding structures in Africa. Bigger in diameter than the biggest wonder of the world, the Pyramid of Giza. Then Mambila Plateau, that is the nearest place to heaven, as it were, in Nigeria. The tallest mountain range is Mambila Plateau, wonderful scenery. And in this season of Niger 7 Wonders, we have to visit Mambila Plateau. So I thank you for that. If Debbie is ready, Debbie can join us now. So Debbie, are you ready for us? So Debbie, unmute and come on.
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead. She's on mute. Okay. Unmute yourself. Okay. I can hear you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Waka with Debbie. I want to take this privilege to thank you for this opportunity, and then greetings to creating space for smaller people like us to come in. So I'm going to among my guests. So Kajuru Castle was one of the first places I visited here in Nigeria when I started Waka with Debbie. It is a medieval mountaintop architectural icon located in Kajuru village, Kaduna State. It was built between the years 1981 and 1989. It's a self-service facility. It has a very serene environment, has locally made sauna, and has a beautiful pool. Except for the very sad event that took place last year, Kajuru is one of our very, its beauty cannot just be explained. I think everybody should go there and explore the facility, but stay there is go to, yes, go around the hills around the castle, go to the villages. If you have gifts, give gifts to the children you meet while you're hiking the facility. In terms of access, getting to Kajuru, we went by flight to Abuja and then took the train from Idu to Rigasa in Kaduna State. Going back, the train service from Idu to Rigasa was really, an amazing experience. Felt really good to have that kind of experience here in Nigeria. My second destination in Nigeria is Badagry Museum and Slave. It is also one of our touristy, one of our best touristy places. The people of Badagry have done amazing well preserving this history, and it is always a pleasure taking clients there, especially foreign clients. Like it has been mentioned, they do not have toilets there as well. So when your guests want to use the toilet or pee or do something, there's nothing like that. Another thing I noticed about that group is that you don't have waste bins where people can throw in dirt, and you have to, pack all your dirt when you are going, except you want to litter the environment. Access to Badagry is in a deplorable situation. It is terrible and really bad. If you need to take clients to Badagry town, you have to leave your house as early as and get there by 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Just it's a big turn off for a lot of people when you mention that there's something in Badagry that you need to see, but the road to that place is really bad. Recently, I was told that the waterways have been opened up to get to Badagry, but because of course a lot of Nigerians go to Badagry, so I'd like to experience it first. If those people who are in the Badagry Museum and Slave Routes are available here, we want to experience going to Badagry by water first to see how it works before we can take our clients, so that we'll know how my third tourist destination in Nigeria is Lekki Conservation Center. I'm sorry that I'm focusing so much on Lagos, but I'm based in Lagos, so Lagos is my go-to. I love Lekki Conservation there and how nature has not been tampered with. It is great for picnics. It is great for family bonding. It is great for retreats. It's really beautiful place, and they've done very well keeping and preserving access to this place is easy, coming anywhere from Lagos. You can go by road. If you are coming outside of Lagos, you can come in by flight. So the access is very, very easy. Security too is on point. Nobody is disturbing anyone. Nobody is picking on anyone. There are no pickpockets there. So it's really a good place to visit and, to suggest to your clients to see. Also, there are things that come with clients to Lekki Conservation Center. There's Nike Art Gallery, not very far from Lekki Conservation Center. There's also the art market if you have foreign clients who want to buy souvenir and take back to their country. So Lekki Conservation Center in Lekki, it's a very, very, very product to sell to foreigners outside Nigeria. And again, Lekki Conservation Center has a tree house. If you're one of those who likes extreme sports, the tree house is something you should, try to do when you get there. And of course, the high point of Lekki, absolutely amazing.
Okay, Debbie, I think you had some network issues. You have given us Kajuru Castle, and you have given us Badagry. You've given us Lekki and the places around Lekki, Nike Art Gallery, the art market. I like that. That people could shop. Tourism without those souvenirs does not spread money. So anytime you have a resort or an attraction, put a shop to sell souvenirs in that neighborhood so people can buy things and spread the money. Part of tourism is investing in the neighborhood. So Kajuru, you talked about the sad event last year, and which has scared people from going back to Kajuru. So I'll give you a chance to complete your final destination. Are you ready? Your final destination?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay, my final destination is a private beach resort called Campi Kare, one of my, for Waka with Debbie, this is one of our very best tourism products because we sell this to our high-earning clients. Campi Kare is in Amuwodo local government area, Lagos State, closer to Badagry, and can only be accessed by the waterways. It is great for beach weddings, small events, group parties, reunion, retreats, and all of that. And the facility can take between 30 to 50 people. It is quite pricey, like really pricey, but totally worth, everything it is about. It is enveloped by the lagoon on one side, and then it has its own private beach on the other side. It is privately owned, self-catering facility, rent all facility. You can't, it doesn't run like a hotel. So anytime you want to use Campi Kare, you have to pay for the whole 12 rooms and the whole environment. Like you have to pay for everything and bring in your own food and everything. Then my final destination is Olumoro, because of course we've spoken about it during the course of this program. So I'll focus on Kuti Heritage Museum in Abeokuta, the family house of the Ransom Kutis that has been turned into a museum. And it is very laudable what the government of Ogun State has done with this facility, the preservation, you know, setting up everything they set up there. I don't think it's a popular destination yet or a popular product that we're selling, but it is our shop. It was based in Nigeria. Another thing of note at the Kuti Heritage Museum is Olufumilayo's car. You know, she's the first woman that rode a car here in Nigeria. So the car has been very well preserved and it is there. You can find it when you visit the Heritage Museum. So yeah, that's all I have. That's
Okay.
my five tourist attractions
You
in
have used up
Nigeria.
your time. You have used up your time, and you have given us 6 locations, actually 7. So I want to thank you for 2 things. Waste bin, conservation. If you go to our beaches, most of them are dirty because nobody is actually giving attention to. Oh, I can see Oga Jude Neji. That's the DMD of ABC Transport. We ran your ad. We'll get you to talk later to us. And so there are no waste bins at these tourism attractions. There is no toilet. So David, that was fantastic. About Cap Ikare, I have this, if you notice, we bring one young tour operator every week. These are the guys who discover places for us. I don't want to talk about Cap Ikare because somebody has a secret. When she comes on, and let me leak it a little, it's about dolphins. You've seen those videos of dolphins. It has something to do with Camp Ikare somewhere along the line. So Debbie, I thank you for this. Waste bins, toilets, they don't cost too much money. Oh, I can see my BOT man, Alaji Aminu Agoha. You're welcome, sir. That's former president of NANTA, FTAM BOT, I teach with him on the board now, and the BOT for TCL. You're welcome, sir. Camp Ikare is somewhere I think we need to go. We are trying to get the time the dolphins will come back, and we are going to go there. Debbie talked about Olumo Rock, but one thing about Debbie's presentation, she's young, is that she tells you about the destination, she tells you where to go outside that. So you Olumo Rock, you have Fumilayo Kuti's and the Kuti Museum. And Lekki, she tells you about the Nikkei Art Gallery and the Nikkei Art Market. Badagry, she points out about the waste bin and the toilet. Kajuru, she didn't tell us, oh, I didn't get that video where she went to do shaku shaku on top of the hill. That was nice. That was actually one of the first videos of I saw. And these young ones, will bring them regularly. Next week, we have one of them, Bolaji Sheung. And last week, we had Chiamaka. Each week, we are going to bring these ones who are the ones that break the barriers and tell us about new destinations. So we are going to go. I've seen that the president of Hartman is here, Samson Aturu, and I've seen also that the president of Nanta, Susan Akpore, is with us. So we go straight to Taye. Taye is with the News Agency of Nigeria, and in a short time on the beach, she's done amazing things. So Taye, we are over to you now. So lead us to Taye.
Can you hear me?
Unmute yourself.
Yes, I've done that.
Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon. All right. I'm Taye Olayemi. I am a journalist with the News Agency of Nigeria. I will be sharing 4 different locations with us. The first one I would like to talk about is the Mount Patti, located in Lokoja, Kogi State. The Mount Patti is a hill of about 452 kilometers above the sea level of the hill. While climbing up, you have a kind of a snaky and sharp movement up the hill. And just by the sides, you have very beautiful vegetation. You have the lush green vegetation. You have a very quiet environment. It's a beautiful place to behold. And getting up there, you have a kind of historical facts which are attached to the Mount Party. You know, the place was where late Flora Shaw coined the name Nigeria, right on top of the hill, because she was able to view, she was inspired, and she was able to view the River Niger and the River Benue, the exact place at which it meets. That is the confluence. She viewed the place and she came about the word Nigeria for the name of the country. So that was in 1914. But prior before then, we have Lord Lugard, who happened to be the Governor General of the Southern and the Northern Protectorates during the colonial era. He built a rest house right on top of the hill. You know, he saw that the place was a very beautiful place, serene, and he made the place his rest place. After each day activity, he goes there to rest. So most of the furnitures he used there are still very, very much available there. He has them there. Another beautiful thing about the place is that adjacent the rest house, you have a bamboo tree, a big bamboo tree just adjacent the rest house. On this bamboo tree, you have each visitor coming to see Lugard, then they inscribe their name on it. Right till now, you have names like Sheung, our local names, and even foreign names on the tree, on the bamboo tree. So it's a beautiful place to be. And then you have Lord Lugard and the wife status right there. That is Lady Flower Shaw. You have it right on top of that hill. It's a beautiful place. And again, another thing I would like to mention is that the bamboo tree, some herbalists have taken over the place for some spiritual stuff. They take it as they make sacrifices there and some other things. So it's a beautiful place for whoever that is coming to Lokoja, you have your way there. And the road network is not that bad. Though getting to Lokoja, you might face some challenges. But within the town, getting to Mount Party it will be a smooth ride for you. It's a beautiful place to be. Then I'll move on to my next site, which is the World War Cenotaph. The World War Cenotaph was built in 1995 just to immortalize the military men that fought during the World War, the First and the Second World War. That was in 1914 to 1918, the First World War, and then the Second World War between 1939 to 1945. So right at that cenotaph, you have most of the instruments in which they use the war. You have the light cannons, the machine guns they used during the war. Then they are all there inside the cenotaph. So it's a beautiful place to be. And what is the major event that takes place there on a yearly basis? Every January 15th, you have the military men in Lokoja, and then the government officials in the Kogi states generally. They go there to commemorate the Army Remembrance Day inside that cenotaph. So it's a beautiful place to visit if you want to relate with history. So I will go to my third location, which is the Erin-Ijesha waterfall, which is also known as Olumiri waterfall. Erin-Ijesha waterfall is located in Erin-Ijesha town in Osun State. It's just about 2 kilometers walk to the waterfall. The most fascinating thing about the waterfall is that you have a very huge, it's so mountainous. The fall it has about 7 steps. Although most people who go there, they don't really get the 7s, they just come down because it's a kind of they get scared. So the waterfall is, according to the people there, they said the water has some kind of a medicinal properties. If you have a headache, you have a kind of a stomach pain, whatever, and you drink the water, you get relieved. So according to them, they said it has some curative effects. So it's a place to be. You have very beautiful environment, serene, very lush green vegetation, and very, very okay for whoever that wants to relate with nature. And just on top of it, you have, if you're able to complete the 7th step, you have a little village called Abake very accommodating set of people. They are hospitable, and whoever that is able to make it to the 7th step, you have them celebrating such a person. With they cut a particular leaf to give to person and celebrate the person. It's a beautiful sight. Also, I will go to my last site, which is the Olokun Grove. The Olokun Grove is according to what they said, is okay. Let me start this way. The Olokun Grove is known as the edge of all the oceans across the globe. So it connects all other oceans across the globe, according to history. And again, the Olokun is a goddess, is known as a goddess. According to the Oni of Ife, when I visited, it said that the Olokun group is a goddess, which was the wife, the first wife of Oduduwa, who never had a child. So this woman got depressed due to this, and she got frustrated by some of the younger wives, and she turned to a body of water just behind the palace. So she became a god since then. And the Oni of Ife made us to realize that you have about 401 deities in Ife. 200 have gone round the Odua town, and you have about 201 still there up till now, and they have all turned to gods in which people worship. So Olokun happens to be one of the gods they worship there. They believe is their god of wealth, is their god of wealth and prosperity. They believe it's when they worship the god, they get enraged and all that. So another beautiful thing about this groove is that you have the water changing from blue to green and vice versa. You understand? The mystery is wow. It's so mysterious. You understand? Getting to see a body of water changes from blue to green and just like that. So it's beyond human comprehension. It's actually a place to visit. And that will take me now to the Olokun Festival. The Olokun Festival is usually celebrated in most of the Odua towns. We have it celebrated here in Lagos and even in, but the most celebrated one is usually in Ife. And the Oni of Ife he usually chairs it. The Olokun Festival, you have a day whereby people come out, the worshippers come out en mass. They wear their whites, as you can see, they wear their whites, their beads are done in their different kinds of well-sewn attire, but in white. And you have the bata drummers coming out. You have the hunters, the farmers, they come out in their numbers, and they celebrate their god. And this particular day is also a day where they celebrate. They pray they pray to their god, which is Olokun, to protect them in the subsequent years. So it's actually a festival to grace. If you come and you'll be able to see the Olokun group, and then you also be able to mingle with the worshippers. So it's a beautiful place to be. From what I've said so far, I think we have a huge potential in religious tourism. Going by the bamboo tree at the Mount Party, whereby you have some herbalists taking over the place and doing some spiritual stuff. You have it there. Then you have the Olokun Festival too. You have some kind of religious tourism going on around there. So these are potential we need to groom. Each state government need to groom and make it a world-class one. At least make it such that we have visitors coming in from all different parts of the country to visit. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for listening. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, when you went to Mount Party, you didn't see my name on the bamboo tree.
Ah!
I carved my name there. Ikechi is there. So when you go there, you should have taken for my name. And I carved it deep enough so it won't get covered. I think Mount Party is amazing. You see the confluence of the Niger and the Benue. And the way, we have Madam Tinuke. Hi. So you're there. You're welcome, madam. Yeah. So from there, Lord Lugard placed the cannon in front of the house. He can see people coming from River Niger, and he can see people coming from River Benue. So if you were a threat to Lord Lugard. He takes you off before you get to Lokoja. It's an amazing place, and it was very popular some years back. I don't know what happened, why we don't all go there now. That was where Nigeria was put together, so we should visit it. And the war senator, oh, Madam Ola, all the way from Benin Republic. How are you? Greetings, Thanks for joining us today. The war senator, the war senator in Lokoja is a place I think should be done differently. The colonial history of Nigeria, all the soldiers who worked in Nigeria, even Lord Lugard, their families, we need to begin to encourage them to come to Lokoja and see a lot of some of the things that they have there. Then she made a very important point about spiritual tourism. See, Nigeria is the best place to have spiritual tourism. You know how many people come to all the churches. Now there are people who are seeking for, instead of going to India to go and jump into the Yangtze River and all of them, you could actually come here. I went to the local group in Ife. I didn't drink the water, confession time. And I think the festival is something we have to look into. But she talked about spiritual tourism. People come to Eri-Ijesha for solution. People come for local festival. Oh, Alhaji Badaki, greetings. That's the chairman of the BOT for Hartman and a big EFTAN official. You're welcome, sir. Then she talked about Eri-Ijesha waterfall, which is very popular with the young ones. Everybody has talked about it. And a local festival. So these are her presentations today. And I think she made a salient point, and that is the spiritual angle to these things. There are people who are looking for solutions. We can invite them to this place that if you go here and pray on top of that mountain, your problem, hey, all the way from Calabar, the chairman of Calabar Carnival gave honor. You're welcome, sir. You're good to join us. So we are going all the way Mount Patti, especially the bamboo tree. Go there and write your name there. Then the War Senator, Eri-Ijesha, a local group, and the festival. And my take from here is that Lokoja and Kogi State has not made good use of the natural assets and all the other assets they have. We expect that state to do a lot more than they have done. So I want to go over to Madam Shalom. Shalom, we are ready for you. Shock us today. I have an inkling into what you have, so that I'm going to keep quiet because you stunned me. So let's, Nikki, all the way from South Africa, you're welcome to join us. Thank you. Madam Shalom. Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, we're going to take 3 states, and I'm going to, my takeoff point will be a hotel, and my pit stop will also be another hotel. So we're going to take off from Anambra, Agulu Lake. Next to Agulu Lake is the Golden Tulip. And one thing I want to specify is that I'm looking more at ecotourism because it provides education, it's conservation for education to everyone. It's also for conservation purposes and all of that. So the Agulu Lake is rich in crocodiles. The Agulu Lake also has lots of turtles and fishes. And the surprising thing about that is that they don't fish in that lake. It's not touched. It's a virgin lake and not touched. I think the crocodile and the turtle are the deities of the people of Agulu. It's actually in Onitsha local government. They are the deities of the people, and they don't go there. It's believed that during the war, the crocodiles saved their lives and preserved them. So it's worshipped. And the lake is used for medicinal solutions and everything. The native doctors usually go there, use the water, especially people that are suffering from Ogbanje. But the view from Golden Tulip is mind-blowing. And in the afternoon, surprising, you will see the crocodiles come on shore with the turtles to come and sunbath, which is usually very interesting to observe. Then from there, we go to Cross River State, where I'm going to talk about the Agbokim falls, because that's what I consider that falls one of the most beautiful falls in Africa. I've been there during the rains and during the dry season, so I could tell you the difference. Now, it's a fall that takes rise from Boki local government into Udung local government. It's near Ikom, 3 hours from Calabar, 4 hours from Uyo. Now, with that location, as you approach the village, the beautiful thing about it is that it is very, that you begin to hear the sound of the river, the roaring sounds of the water as it falls down. And you could get some sights from the village, but as you go down, it has these big rocks that you can practically have picnics on it. But as you go down towards the base where it falls in, if you go during the rainy season, it branches up into 7 falls. It comes out in 7 falls. I think that's because of the high tides. So it comes into 7 falls. But as you get down, it becomes very cold. But the beauty of this rainbow sparks, the rainbow comes from just the lightings from the rock, and when the water hits the rock below. So you see all of that. It's good for picnics. It's good for picnics, rock hiking, and all of that. It's very beautiful. It's a marvel. Now, one of the things that during the dry season, it branches up into 4 falls. It just comes in there in 4 falls just comes in there, and it's very beautiful. I have had to have picnic there, and I had to take clients there. Most of the clients I take there are actually Americans that are coming for conservation purpose, because not far from there, we go into the Afi Mountains. I mean, this week has been a mind-blowing week. Ikechi, thank you for the news. BBC carried it. I think the wall conservation this week herald the whole gorilla, Calabar gorillas, Cross River gorillas. And the beautiful thing about the gorilla is that they are the rarest, they are very endemic, that is just for that region, and they are the rarest, and they are the most northerly and less researched gorillas in the entire world. So this week, the entire conservation community in the world has heralded just having those pictures and all of that. And prior to now, myself and Nikechi had this discussion about those gorillas. Afi Mountain is good for hiking, and behind Afi Mountain is the Mbe Mountains. Afi Mountain hold the entire, there's a forest reserve there. So you could find the Calabar python, that's the python that has the 2 heads. You could find the Calabar python, chimpanzee, antelope, all of that is in that space. So it's really, really beautiful. Now, from Afi Mountain, I would take you to Akwa Ibom. So we're going to go to the farthest part of Akwa Ibom, then we walk ourselves in. Now, in Akwa Ibom, one thing people don't know is that Akwa Ibom houses 38 islands, which is spread across 3 local governments, Mbo, Eastern Obolo, and Ibno. Ibno having 22, then Mbo has 7, yes, Mbo has 7, Eastern Obolo has 9. Now, last week, one of our colleagues talked about Iko Beach, which is in Eastern Obolo. The beautiful thing about those islands is that they are untapped and people reside there. But the other side of it is that it will shock you that Ghanaians stay there, lots of Ghanaians. Other things stay there. Nigerians don't even have schools there. So what you know that it's a Nigerian territory is the fact that you're able to have the chiefs of those local government or those islands are there. So from there you have the Parrot Island. One thing about the Parrot Island, apart from other parrots, but it houses the rare parrot, and it's endemic, is the African parrot, the African gray parrot, which is there, and all of that. So the beauty of that is that you could see parrot in all its natural state. Now, you also go to the Tom Short Island. Tom Short Island is a fishing settlement. We hear this song, Amazing Grace, but it will shock you that Amazing Grace itself was actually written in the Tom Short Island and all of that. With security, yes, we're going to need security going there because all my trips there have been with security. I've had closed shave encounters with militancy. So I'm not going to tell you a lie there, but I mean, these are sights to behold. Then from there, we're going to look at the Itam Mountain Project, the Itam Monkey Project, sorry. Now, one thing about the monkey sanctuary in Akwa Ibom, it's a land sanctuary, is that it houses the, there's a particular name of these monkeys, the red-capped Magabi species of monkeys, which is common amongst in Akwa Ibom, it's endemic. And in Itam, the monkeys are is their deity. So it's not consumed, but you still have poachers coming. Now, last year I hosted Russell Allen Matami. He came in there, he's the world conservationist and he's a primatologist. So he came there just to view himself and Professor Enyang, who is the West Africa, the species, what's Prof again? He's the co-chair of African Manatee. So we led him on a tour just to view the monkeys. And one of the things Alan said was that we have the best monkey viewing center in the world, in Africa, to be precise. He even said in the world because these were monkeys in their natural state, and you can't take that away from them. Then apart from that, we're taking you to Itu Wetlands, which is not far from Itam, within the same local government. Itu Wetlands is one of the IBA, International Bird Area. In Nigeria, there are 38 international bird areas. So in Itu, you have approximately, you have 14 different bird species that come in from as far as Finland to come into Itu, just to spend their winter here. And because of that, you see the influx of foreigners into Akwa Ibom because their birds are usually trapped. So they want to watch their birds in their natural environment. So you have the bird performance. You go do the bird viewing, you watch the bird performance in that whole area. And it's a sight to behold. And after winter, they fly back to their area. So in UNESCO, it is an international bird area. Nigeria has 38 of it. I did not talk about the crab republic. There are two crab republics, one in Ibno and one in Mpadeni. One has the ghost crab, one has the land crab. The ghost crabs are the ones you see as you approach the republic. And what happens is that once they see you, once you turn around, they all disappear. They go back into their holes at the speed of light. Then the land crabs are the ones that see you and charge towards you. So better be ready with your feet. Then in Akwa Ibom, you also have there's a privately owned sanctuary, animal sanctuary in town. When EFTAN president came last year during the World Tourism Day with the vice chairman, Natop, I took them there. It's a private sanctuary that has monkeys, just animals that are in extinction, crocodiles, snakes, python, snipers, all of that is all there. Different kinds of birds, turtle, and all of that. And that is in a private residence. It's a sanctuary designed and built by Professor Edemenian. He is a professor in conservation and environmental practices and all of that. So then from there, I take you to our pit stop, which is the Low Meridian. But I'm not going to talk about the rooms and the golf resorts. I'm going to talk about they have the discovery walk and the cycling. If the next trip you have to Ibom Hotel asks for cycles, they have bicycles. So they have the cycling tracks. But the beautiful thing about the discovery walk is that you get to see a ship that was manufactured by Isaac Pemberton in London. In England, there are ship manufacturers. And the funny thing is that this ship was manufactured in 1912. And it was brought into the marina. What people don't know about the Udwan Marina is that was a trade route. And it was brought in by Miller Brothers. Miller Brothers was an associate of Lord Lugard. So it was a gift to him. And Miller Brothers eventually after the amalgamation, they became liver brothers. So all that history is there. The roots is there in Low Meridian. Now, if they open up the Nsuk there, that's the harbor there, it takes you from our marina to Cross River Marina there in what's that place called?
Madam Shalon, you've actually used 15 minutes, then we are stunned. We are stunned.
Sorry.
Everybody is stunned.
Sorry. So it takes you to Calabar, so I will stop there. Thank you. So you can rest in the Igbo hotels and resorts.
It doesn't stop there. We are coming to Uyo. Immediately the flight starts. The places I'm hearing today. Okay, I've been to Agulu Lake. I've been to Abokim. I've been to the Afi Mountains. I know about that. But 38 islands in Akwa Ibom.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Untapped.
Okay, you told us about Tomshot and where Amazing Grace was written. Now, I'll have that problem. Is that Tomshot Island in Cross River or is it in Akwa Ibom? We need to resolve that.
It's in Akwa Ibom.
It's in Akwa Ibom. Okay. You talked about Monkey Island. You talked about Parrot Island. You talked about Crab Republic. You talked about two-headed Calabar python.
Calabar Grand Python.
These are amazing locations. I think Akwa Ibom State and Kogi State have not done themselves well. If these things are there, how come we don't know? So, and you yourself, you know, we don't really know you have all this in your repertoire. We don't know, we know about Agulu. Fine place with the golden tulip. I was there in December with Oga Game. Amazing place. Abokim, been there many times. But 38 islands, 22 by Ibuno, Parrot Island with endemic parrots. Hey, Balogun, how are you? Then we have Monkey. We have Monkey Islands. Those red cap mangabees. Then we have the Crab Republic, Madam Sharon. You have the manatee. We call the manatee. Hi, Rita. We call the manatee. Yeah, we call it here. We claim it's a sea lion. You know, we confuse.
It's a mammal.
We have sea lion in Nigeria. So
don't tell them
the manatee. So let's keep pushing the sea lion argument.
Oh, before I forget, the dolphins. Now we have the dolphin rides. Yes, it takes rises. Yes, we take rises from where Debbie just called, and it goes all through to the mobile installations in Ibano. But the thing about the dolphin is that it's tracking the time and tracking them and mapping their routes. So they come all through from Lagos. And they go all through the shoreline, straight to Akwa Ibom, straight to Ibano, all through that entire shoreline.
Okay.
So on a can you see the dolphins.
Can you get us the time of the next dolphin arrival in Ibano? So we can also come there. Okay, but get ready for us. Ibom Air, Ibom Resort, we are coming there. We are coming live. So we are coming to see I won't go to all the 38. You said some are not safe. Okay. I like your truthfulness. We are not here to lie to people or deceive people.
No.
We tell them exactly how it is. And talked about Kajuru, we said we had problems there. And you said some of the islands are not that safe because of militants. But the ones that are safe, we can go there. So thank you. Before we come to the big gun today, who is going to be our last presenter, I want to recognize that we have Binod. Binod is here, Mayflower. We have Ime, Vice President. She actually talked about Ime. We've talked about Madam Susan. We also think we should allow, we play the advert first. Then we'll take one or two goodwill messages. Then we'll go to Oga Dayo. Don't miss this part. It has been to 774 local governments in Nigeria. I think only INEC has done that. So he's way ahead of me. So give us our advert before we go to the last part.
Over the years at ABC Transport, the safety of our customers has always been our topmost priority. Currently, COVID-19 pandemic has altered our lifestyle, and in line with the government's directives to contain the spread, we have put measures in place. All our terminals and buses are regularly disinfected. You will also be required to play your own role by putting on your face mask to access any of our terminals. Our protocol officers are on ground to check your temperature and lead you to the wash hand station to wash and sanitize your hands. The sitting arrangements in our range of buses are also in full compliance with social distancing. To make your contactless bookings, kindly make use of our website www.abctransport.com or download our app on Google Play or App Store. ABC Transport, your passport to service.
So, Madam Chichi from Warri, better start discovering your own islands. This is the new game. We are visiting island. So I see you're here. I want us to take a word from Oga Alaji Agoha from Kano. Oga, unmute your phone. Just greet us so we can go to the last player.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Ikechi and my colleague on the board of EFTAN. I'm really amazed with what I'm hearing and seeing today. The tourism potentials that we have in this country, which most of us have not had the opportunity of visiting. So now that we have seen it, and it's real and it's functional, I think that's a better opportunity for those in the tourism value chain to start marketing them as soon as the various state governments have developed those places to at least international standard. And I must thank you for what you've been doing for the tourism industry. This is a way forward. This is the second gold mine for the country. The second revenue earner for the country after oil. So it is good to be part of this. And I assure you that anytime, any day, we will always partner with you and will always help to promote all the values and virtues that you stand for. Once again, thank you very much, Ambassador Ikechi. I'm glad to be given this opportunity to say a few words. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. I will ambush Madam Atinuke because I saw the video she made of Lagos and where she told us that she represented Lagos. I saw a wonderful video of Madam Atinuke. Maybe she has one or two things to say to us. Let's take a goodwill message from her. I think she's all the way somewhere. I don't want to say. Madam, unmute your phone.
Ikechi, thank you. I am here in Lagos with you. Hello, everyone. It's glad to be here, and I'm happy to see that we have so many tourist destinations in Nigeria that we could build on. Well, I did know this after going through Mr. Didayo's book. So I am happy to be here, and I'm happy to be seeing all the lovely pictures. And like Ikechi said, very soon we're going to be on the move, and we're going to tour all these destination sites, hopefully before the end of 2021. So once again, thanks to all the speakers, thanks to the presenters, and Ikechi, thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Before I bring on the ABC man to share a little bit with us, and we eventually end with Dayo. People have asked us that they want to have tours to this destination. So Niger7wonders.com, we are going to post the Tourism 100 members, the names of their businesses, their contacts. These are people that we have verified and we know they are in the business. So we are going to post the list of the tour operators and those of them on the website. So if you need to go to any of these people, you from there go to their website, know their areas. That's part of why we are doing this thing. So people can visit these destinations. So we are going to do that on the website. A lot of people have been asking that. And you can get the links, YouTube links from our, I think it's Travelers TV, and you can get quite a lot of that. And all the past editions, we have them on our Travelers TV YouTube channel, so you can watch. Now, I'm going to ask, when people start moving, how do you move? It's important. The week after, we start bringing the airline MDs. You could see we are running their adverts, and we are going to play the airlines that are already flying. We are going to play a video after Ogadayo finished speaking. So ABC Transport is there for land transport. It goes to almost all the places, and it has money buses. So we can ask Mr. Jude Neji to say one or two things to us before we go ahead to Ogadayo. Oga Jude, please unmute your link. Unmute and talk to us. We are waiting.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, unmute. Unmute, okay. You're still muted. Unmute. Unmute. Okay, unmute, sir.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. This is a very wonderful news to hear. Like Alhaji said, apart from oil, this is a high revenue earning. Nigeria can earn millions of dollars from developing the tourism industry. All we need to do is to have a statistics, a compilation of all these places. Very wonderful places. I tell you an example we had when we started the Coach West Africa newly. We tried to organize some tours in Ghana. And you know what they were bringing for us? The Tekwashi roundabout, ShopRite, you know, all those. So you can imagine the kind of things we have. I'm amazed, honestly, I didn't know about it. So we are going to give our support to this no matter what it takes. Nigerians don't need to fear. Security is not an issue. Wherever you want to get into this country, people can always get there. We know how to get it. You can always arrange security. So that shouldn't be an excuse for people to shy away from touring their country. We find it very easy to get to London, USA, UK, European countries instead of touring our environment. So I thank you very much, Mr. Kechioko. You are a real ambassador of tourism. We appreciate you, and we really want to lend our support to this on land. Thank you very much. For tourism operator, please, anytime you have generous discounts from us, very modern, convenient buses, we'll give you all the support. Thank you very much, Dayo. Thank you very much, Alhaji. All of you, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I want to say something that none of you will ever know. Ghana, people go to Ghana today because of ABC Transport. I was in the first trip to Ghana 2004 when they started Coach West Africa. And after that experience, they opened up Ghana. And you see, I'm respected in Ghana because of some of the things I've done to promote their tourism. But the people that need to get their word is ABC Transport. They opened up Ghana as a destination. And they opened up a whole lot of places in Nigeria. And they've come a long way. The first time I took ABC, went to, I think, Abuja or somewhere. No, I think it was Owerri. Somebody asked me, which ABC or how many cars does he have? And today, ABC is everywhere. It started as a small idea, and it has grown. And he has promised you extensive discount for anybody who wants to do tours. They have the sprinters, which we use when we do Accra Wezo, and they have the big buses. Thank you. And we go to the big gun today. I can see our beauty tourism queen. Abigail, how are you? And you're welcome. And Gabe Honor, all the way from Calabar. Ogadayo, you just have to wait for Gabe to say one or two things. Then we come straight to you. Gabe, what do you have to say for us? That's the chairman of Calabar Carnival. So Gabe, can you greet us? Unmute your phone, Gabe. Gabe, go ahead.
Okay, I bring greetings from Calabar, the home of Tinapa and Carnival Calabar. Ambassador Ikechi, may God bless your soul. May God bless the tourism family of Nigeria. Those great media men who make us tick. We are making our own houses for our own selves. To the glory of God, we shall get there. One day, one Pharaoh who appreciates tourism will come and change our story. May I also thank Shalom for the nice, great thing she talked about Aquacross, and tell her that the best is yet to come. She talked about Agbokim. Let me just add again that we are really blessed. There's a traditional natural garden made by nature right under the dew and under the waterfalls of Agbokim. The flora and fauna of the rainforest, the bush lodgings of the rainforest, the mandrills, Ikechi, you and I know about the mandrills, and the great story of Amazing Grace around the great shores and the great creeks of Calabar into Aquacross, and the great budget swallows that come once in a while, covering the entire eight skies in Boki. I believe on a good day we'll speak more about the oversupply of tourism assets in Silver State waiting to be explored. Nigeria's 7 Wonders first edition was wonderful to us. I believe it can be done again, but we must continue to take this as a whole. If it's good for you, it is going to be good for me. The hunger in Cross River State is no different from the hunger in Akwa Ibom or Abia State. Let us market these assets back to back. A tourist that came to Akwa Ibom last year would want to see Long Arrow, the Long Arrow Juju. So we must market ourselves as a whole. And I think this is one of the great story of 7 Wonder. We are one great indivisible family, the tourism family. Until Abuja begins to hear us, we'll get there. Best wishes today, and I would like to do more of the listening, and I apologize for my inability to hook up at our first session. We are here to stay. Okay, God bless you again.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You can drop your email for us if you want the contact for ABC, and drop your phone number. We'll get across to you.
I'll give it for free.
No more than our partners. Okay, now this is the big gun. This is what you're waiting for. Now is the time that we are waiting for. The man who has been to 774 local governments in Nigeria. INEC needs to come and talk to us now so that we can give them his name and his phone number. The man who knows everywhere with amazing photographs. So, Ogadayo, you are one person that the country has not celebrated. So we celebrate you today. You've written books. You've done a lot for this country, which nobody appreciates. And you could see people who are quoting from your book. Madam Tinuke says she saw quite a lot in your book. And there are people coming after you who are going through the things you've gone through. And I greet you for what you've done for this country. I bless your soul. So it is time for you to come up and tell us the story of your 7 best destinations. I know you have seen everything. Tell us the 7 best destinations in the country. It's over to you now, sir.
Good evening, Ikechi. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
That's the easiest thing I can say. Tourism, not just in Nigeria, but in the rest of Africa. First point, I've been very lucky, let me put it that way. So I've at least been to the...
Can you speak a little louder? I don't want to miss anything. Can you speak a little louder? Louder.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
You can hear me, okay. What I'm trying to say is only God can reward you. for what you've done for Nigeria and for what you are doing for the rest of Africa. The sad story of Nigeria is we're too pessimistic about this country. We don't believe in Nigeria at all. And I have been very lucky to go around the nearly 920,000 square kilometers with 853 kilometers of coastline and about 10,000 kilometers of waterways around the country. At least I would say quite a bit of it. So going to the 7 wonders of Nigeria, the 7 best I will take in the country. The first one I will go to is Eredo in Eredo local government.
Eredo. Sir, everybody is complaining that they can't hear you very well and they don't want to miss. How are we going to do it?
Just a second. Let me change my phone.
Okay. Let's play a video while you sort the environment out. So we play the opening of the Nigerian airspace. So please work on the video. Everybody wants to hear you.
Okay, I'm coming. I'll be with you. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but
clearly. Is it clear now?
I can hear you.
Is it clear?
Let's take the video. We'll get back to you.
Okay.
We'll get back to Okay, thank you for that. I thank Augustine Bisokari, all the way from Port Harcourt, former BOT chairman of Nanta, and he teaches on the board of Niger 7 Wonders. He's big. So he pointed out the fact that he wasn't hearing, so we have to wait for you. Now, Ogadayo, we are back to you. So we can go ahead now.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So what I'm saying is, only God can reward you. I've been very fortunate and lucky enough to be able to go around the country, and I've been doing it for the past 17 years. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So talking about the 7 wonders of Nigeria, the first one I would choose is Shubon Radio in Epe, a radio local government of Lagos State. It is a dish that was dug over 2,000 years ago, carbon dated 2,000 years ago, but only got to the public knowledge just about 20 years ago, many thanks to Professor Patrick Darling in the United Kingdom. Hello? Okay, are you still hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So why it was dug, how it was dug, nobody knows. And it is 160 kilometers in length, dug around the ancient Ijebu kingdom, linked to the Queen of Sheba, who was mentioned in the Bible and the Quran. That's number one. And Ogun State actually is the Jerusalem and Mecca of Nigeria. Before the COVID pandemic, Ogun State should have been receiving over 1 million religious tourists every month. I mean, they go to Redeem Camp, Fire Mountain. Islamic people should also have their, what is it called over there? They are worshiping grounds over there as well. So that is on Shubon. The next one I will go is the Mambila Plateau in Saldana local government area of Taraba State. Taraba State actually should be far richer than Lagos State when it comes to economy, because the appellation is nature's gift to the nation. Taraba State is beautiful, the most beautiful place, and most especially the Mambila Plateau. From the base of the Mambila Plateau to Kebubu is 122 kilometers. That we all know and talk about is only between 21 to 22 kilometers distance. But from the base of the Mambila Plateau to Kebubu, the end of the Mambila Plateau is 122 kilometers. And I am still looking for the picture that will actually the story of Mambila Plateau. Only videos can show the beauty of the Mambila Plateau.
Keep talking, sir. Okay, unmute yourself, sir. Okay, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. My network just went off now.
I bind that spirit that is trying to prevent us from hearing you.
After the Mambila Plateau, I will go to the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Abeokuta of Ogun State. Why? If you're a student of history and politics, there is no way you will get to the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library and not bow. What it takes for the president to come up with such an idea is the 14th presidential library in the world and the only one outside the United States of America. So you only have 13 presidential libraries in America, and the 14th one is in Nigeria. It takes you around the history of Nigeria from the pavilion down into the political side of President Olusegun Obasanjo and the historical side of Nigeria as well. There is no way, it will take you about 2 days for you to actually assimilate what is in the presidential library in Abeokuta. From there, I will go, that is a conflict between the Jafifo and Agbokum that Madam Charlotte talked about in Cross River State. Agbokum, for me, you drive to the base of Agbokum and you see the waterfall in front of you. Majestic 7 waterfalls. But in the case of, sorry, not Jafifo,
Fererua Waterfall in Wamba local government of Nasarawa State. It will take you about 2 hours to walk down to the base of the waterfall. And the beauty of the walk is you will walk past 4 streams, clean water, spring water, which I drank some because I was very thirsty. And it's one of the problems you have in all this tourist area is nothing for tourists in terms of recreation, in terms of food or water to refresh themselves. So I was forced to take a cold spring water, oozing out of the soil, which was very good. Nothing happened to me afterwards, you know. But if I am to choose between Agbokum and Ferinrua, I will go to Ferinrua. And Ferinrua in Hausa means white water, you know. The water, the source of the water is actually in Plateau State, flowing into Nasarawa State. And it's so majestic. And you can see Ferinrua from about 2 or 3 kilometers on a clear day when you are walking down into the forest. After Ferinrua, I will go to Ohum Waterfall in Enugu State, which is in the local government. Before you get to the end of Ohum, you walk about 40-45 minutes, which is interesting because you are going through the cave. And the beauty of that is we have several caves in the southeastern part of Nigeria. From Obauku, everybody talks about Ogbunike. To me, Obauku is the most beautiful cave in Nigeria. And on top of Obauku Cave is a waterfall again. And on Ohum, you walk about 40-45 minutes from the beginning before you get to the end of the waterfall. And on Sundays, weekends is very busy. To go to visit such places, I will advise to go during the week. You know, I'm not a tour operator, neither am I a tour guide. All I do, I'm a photographer trying to document the history of Nigeria. But it's one of the most spectacular places you visit in Nigeria. And I can gladly say my picture was the first of Ohum Cave that you can see globally. Before then, people talk about Ohum Cave, but nobody has a picture of Ohum Cave. So from there, I will go to Jafifo in Kwayakusa local government of Borno State. Borno State should be the second richest state in Nigeria after Taraba State. Why? There's so many tourist attractions in Borno State, it's unbelievable. The Lake Chad itself is wonderful. I spent nearly a week on the Lake Chad shores, taking pictures, going around up to the end of Cameroon, then to Niger, coming back to the Nigerian side. You know, I'm talking about 2005, between 2005 and 2007. This was before the Boko Haram insurgency. I hope and pray this insurgency will end very soon. So, talking about Jafifo, the meteorite fell from outer space some millions or thousands of years ago. 2-3 kilometers before you get to the base of Jafifo, you start seeing little stones. That way. And what we are doing to Nigeria actually is like saying Nigeria is my mother and I'm calling my mother a witch. People will start running away from my mother, and it gets to a point whereby people will start running away from me because I'm the son of a witch. And that is what we are doing to Nigeria, running to other parts of the world to go and do what we have to do. And the truth of the matter is there is no country in the world today that you can get a return on investment as Nigeria. Let's put our differences aside. Let's put our pessimism aside. Let's put our our religious connotations, our tongue, like the first anthems of national Nigeria, though tongue and tribe may be different, in brotherhood we stand, you know. By the time we put all those things together and think positively about the country, because I'm doing this not because someone is giving me money or government is doing anything, because if we have to wait for government, we won't be where we are today. Just like what Ambassador Nkechi is doing. Imagine you've sent a proposal to the Federal Minister of Culture and Tourism to come and do what you are doing. I'm sure it will never see the light of the day. And that is what I'm doing. And history will say one or two things about you for what you have done to Nigeria. Nigeria is beautiful. I've experienced it. I've seen the rich. I've seen the wealthy. I've seen the famous. I've seen the poorest of the poor. I've moved to the highest of the high. And at the end of the day, it's such a beautiful country. And what I will implore every one of us here to really, it's just a very simple example for you. If you know any foreigner living among us, just ask them their views about Nigeria before coming and their views about Nigeria now that they are here. Then you will know that there are lots and lots of opportunities in this country. Thank God for COVID-19. Now we can now look inwards and see that Nigeria is a beautiful country to explore. There's so many things around us. If you live in all the major cities, for example, if you are in Lagos, the whole of Ikoyi, Victoria Island, Lagos Island is full of historical relics. And I can go on and on because it's a 17-year journey, you know. It's not something I can say in 10, 15 minutes. And there are so many things. And you can actually go on Amazon if you want to buy my book and see some of the things about Nigeria. All I want to do is just to sell Nigeria, and may Nigeria succeed. Thank you, Kechi, for giving me this platform to say one of the things on the 7 wonders of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing some of your, we wish we could take you on a whole day, and so you could talk about these places and tell us about those places you've seen that are unique. And the 3 things you said that stuck with me is that you said Ogun State can be the Mecca of Nigeria. And you talked about Taraba has no reason to be poor. Taraba can be the richest state with an asset like Mambila. Taraba should be very rich. And Borno, with the, I know there are security challenges, but they can plan post the challenges. When you went there, there were no challenges. You took pictures, amazing pictures of the sand dunes, the waterfall, and everything. I have never seen a picture of Ferrerua like the one you just showed. I've seen pictures we've shared that people sent to us. You showed Ferrerua with the greenery, and you showed it from a fashion. Amazing set of pictures. And our home waterfall, I'm happy that you are letting Nigerians know that you took the best pictures that everybody is sharing today. That is one place everybody talks about, is in Enugu State. So we need some of these states to wake up. The DG of NTDC said, look, these assets are owned by the states. So what are the states doing? We need these states to wake up and respond to this. There are tour operators available to market these places. There are people that can give you advice on how it will be well done. So I will go through the places you talked about. You talked about Shungo Eredo, and you talked about the wall and the Queen of Sheba place. You said something about 160 kilometers, I think, in radius. That would be amazing if I got the thing right. You talked about Mambila and Obasanjo Library. People take it for granted. You pointed out that this is the only presidential library outside America, and there are only 7 in the world. So what you have in Abeokuta is something that people need to look forward to. So, and go there. I know they have good accommodation, and Obasanjo is one of our favorite tourism leaders in this country. I can see Precious of Eftan. You're welcome here. Kemi Shoeto, and Madam Bimbodres Mieti, the scouting. That's how I know you guys. You're welcome. You ladies, you talked about Obauku in Anambra, and you rate it higher than Ogunike. Anambra State government is doing something about that. They've made a hotel beside Agulu Lake, and they're now doing something about Ogunike. So we'll be happy to have them do something about Obauku. And your sand dunes are best. Rion Rock, that seems to be one of my favorite places. I climbed all the way to the top, and it was an amazing experience I have. Later, they started having security challenges around that place, but I think it's solved now. We went past there this last time we were in Plateau State. So these three states you talked about, Ogun State, Taraba State, and Borno State, I think they should wake up. The Borno, we can pardon them for now, but Taraba and Ogun State and Enugu State, Kogi State, God has blessed you. And I think Akwa Ibom, you need to do a lot more. Look at the things we heard today from Usman Danfodio tomb that we never knew existed, thanks to the EFTA president, to the spiritual excursions by Taye to Mount Patti, Erin Jeshan, or Lukungu. David took us to Nike and Camp Ikare, who is going to get, if you have questions about any one of these places and you need their contact and connection, or any one of our speakers, send us a mail to info@niger7wonders.com. When you send the mail, we'll reply. It's not commercial for that. Just send a mail with any request you have about any one of them, our presenters, and we can connect them to you. Oga Dayo, everybody wants to know where they can get your book. I know when you are at Akwaba, you have a stand. At Jabama, you have a stand, so people can get it from there. But they can also go, I think we went to your website once. They can also visit the website for pictures. I think it's dayo.com or something like that. And they can get access to your picture. They want to know if you do reprint. Almost every tour operator would need that. And so I need to thank Rabo. I need to thank Debbie, Taye, Madam Shalom. I wrote your name here as Crab Republic. And the Parrot Island and the Monkey Island and all the amazing 38 islands you took us to. I want Taye to go back to Mount Patti and check for my name and take a photograph. So we are going to visit all of those places. And Ogadayo, you have made our day today. You've given us your top 7, Eredo, Sumboredo, Mambila, Obasanjo Library, Abokum and Farinrua Falls, Ahum Cave and Falls, the sand dunes and the waterfall in Borno, Rion Rock. These are amazing places, and I agree with you that these places need to be visited. I will be happy to have the state commissioners do better than they are doing. Some state commissioners have called us, they want to come on. We are going to take them, but not now. I want to give the tour operators the opportunity to share these destinations. Then we'll call the state commissioners to come and tell us about what exactly they are doing and for each of those states. So now we will take everybody, the tour operators first, to showcase the country. So I thank you for today, and the video of this edition is going to be out. Costus Spectabilis is the national plant of Nigeria. Next week, I think you should all check my Facebook page. I posted a story about my tour around the country, about the national horse, about the national eagle, about the Costus Spectabilis, our national plant, about the eben. Even at the roundabout at Lekki, you have that national plant. On our coat of arms, it is there as red, but it's actually yellow in color. It's called the yellow trumpet. Next week, we are going to introduce you to the journey we are going to do around Nigeria. So what I'm going to do today is we are going to tell you the people who are speaking next week. So our speakers, how are you, brother? Our speaker next week, we have Bolaji Shehu, we have Sam Adeleke. Amazing, Steve, well done. We have Madam Peaceful Sky from Abuja. I'm waiting for you to launch the flyer for us so we can see all our speakers for next week. And the same time next week, the next time next week we have amazing personalities. Then we are going to bring in the hotel. We have Raphael James. Raphael James is one of the most traveled people. He has a huge collection. He has a library. He has biographies, largest collection of stamps, photographs, artifacts. He's like Ogadayo. You're going to hear from him, and he's going to tell you amazing places in Nigeria. So we have from Abuja, Madam P.C. Yare. We have Sam Adeleke from Lagos. We have one of the hottest young tour operators. He's been, I think, 35 or 33 states or 25 states. His name is Bolaji Shehu. I like the stuff he does. We have Dr. Raphael James, and we have, who is our last speaker? Justina Okpanko. I call her the first lady of tourism journalism. Justina has been everywhere in this country. So please, next week, you're going to sign on. Don't miss Raphael James. Don't miss Justina. Don't miss Sam Adeleke. These are the young guns and the experienced hands. So we do, I won't say ancient and modern. We try to balance it every week. So next week, same time, 3 p.m., join us as we showcase Nigeria like never before. So why don't you sit back as we sign off with a normal video of somewhere in Nigeria. Thank you.
Moving forward, important to note about the ring road, you can see the picture now.
In the rain as the clouds go gray, on the roars and the earth sings. The season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way. Pouring out my blessings, I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know. So I embrace it, dance in the rain for my seed to grow. For every prayer, every seed I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping back 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, and you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load, but my vows I won't be breaking. Though my heart is aching, I got a word and I won't let go. Seeking, so I keep on believing. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it, dance. Once again, it's time for me to grow. For every prayer and every tear I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping joy 100-fold. The land is green, it's green. Oh, the land is green, it's green. Can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. I thought it was over, thought you were done with me, but we're just beginning. Whoa, my life is a journey. I will walk with you, I will go where you want me to. Yes, I will go. Come on. Told me that the land is green. Hey, yeah. It's green. Oh, oh. The land is green. It's green. Can't you see? The land is green. It's green. Oh, oh. The land is green. It's green. Can't you see? The land is green. It's green. Oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? I can see all the harvest is ready, 'cause he told me so. It's green and it's all mine. Stand in the rain as the clouds go gray. The thunder roars and the earth sings. The season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way. Of my blessings, I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it, dance. In the rain, it's for my feet to grow. For every prayer and every seed I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping back 100-fold. The land is green, it's green. Oh, oh. The land is green, it's green. Can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load, but my vows I won't be breaking. Though my heart is aching, I got a word and I won't let go. It's your will I'm seeking, so I keep on believing. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it, dance. Once again, it's time for me to grow. For every prayer and every tear I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows reap enjoy 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green. Can't you see? The harvest is ready. The Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. I thought it was over, thought you were done with me.